welcome to a new week. Now, you'll have noticed that we've moved our whiteboard into the outside workshop because we've still got a lot of things to do. The countdown's on for Purdey's pre-control for her scrutineering, so we need to keep a list of what we're going to do. So, steering damper and panhard rod are the first two things on the list. We're going to tackle them today. Now, we've got this steering damper that's come from our partners at 4x4 Project. It's a Bilstein steering damper and it's a higher performance one than the one that we had on there. Now, we've already noticed with the new suspension that we get less feedback through the steering, less juddering, and hopefully with this on it will be even better. Also this week we've got a load of new partner stickers to put on the car, so let's get on. Can you tell the difference from the other one?
Yeah, I think you've got more
resistance. Now, you're not really going to see this because it's going to be behind the steering guard, which is obviously there to protect it, but it's going to be working hard, that's for sure. So we're using the wedge washers on this as well, just to make sure, wedge washers from Coburn Fasteners, just to make sure that this bolt stays in, because we don't really want any repeats of things that happened on the Santana, if that wasn't on this particular part. So what we've got to do to do this up is put a Torx bit in. Is that?
No, I think it's a hex.
Is it a hex? More like an Allen key. To hold the damper while we do it up. Same as what we did on the bottom of the shocks. Now the next thing is the panhard rod. If you remember, we've got an adjustable one because when you lift the suspension of the car, it changes the position of the axle and just puts everything slightly off square. You'll also remember that this bolt here is the one that came out on Santana Trophy. So that is now done up really, really tight, but we've now got to get it off to put the new panhard rod on. Seems bizarre, doesn't it, that this bolt disappeared of its own volition on Santana and we're having to use equipment to get it out now. So this is, yeah, the panhard rod we took off, and this is the new one, which you can see is much, much thicker and beefier, so should be doing a better job. Now the adjustable bit is this nut on the end. I'm not quite sure yet exactly how we adjust this up, but I'm sure that will become clear.
You turn it like that and it gets longer, so it can't undo itself in place.
Ah, okay. But how do we work out what length we need it?
It's called trial and error.
Okay. Now this is the panhard rod bolt, and given our previous experience, we're definitely using wedge washers on both of the bolts at either end that have come from our partners at Coburn Fasteners, and this sticker now needs to go on the car.
Okay.
So the second bolt's in. Now we need to try and measure things to work out if this axle is central or not. Benny, do you know how we work out how to adjust this panhard rod? You having a look? It's all to do with triangles and maths calculations, and I'm not very good at them. What do you think, Mr. Ben? He doesn't know either. So for this measuring to see if this axle's in the middle, Chris has checked that the car is level in both directions, and we've also checked that the tyres are at the same pressure so that the deformation on the sides of the tyres is exactly the same. Now we've got this piece of wood which is sitting against the tyre sidewalls.
And a cat.
And a cat who's helping. And the idea is, if I measure off this support for the turret and the shock absorber to the outside of the piece of wood, I make that 41.5 centimetres. So now what we need to do is go and repeat that process on the other side and see if it's even. So we're on the second side, and I reckon that that's 1 mil out. So are we going to worry about 1 millimetre?
No, we're not.
No, I don't think we are either. I think we'll say that that's pretty much centred. So thanks, Jeremy, for your support. I asked Jeremy what he wanted me to say about his company. Well, I meant about his company, but what he actually said is tell everybody how funny and good looking I am. So there you go. Now you know Jeremy from Coben Fasteners is funny and good looking. Let's get this sticker on. Lovely. So we're trying to put together a package of spares for Purdey, but budget constraints basically mean we can't have all new spares. So these are rear half shafts. Well, there's one of them. There's two to do. The second hand that we're taking just in case we break one. But Chris has just given them a bit of a clean up. So we've got deliveries coming in with our equipment supports. This is for the Irritrack. So this is the actual equipment. This is the support for the equipment, which means that you'll be able to track us when we're out on the stage. But also, if we have a problem, we can get in touch with the organisers. It has a built-in satellite phone. Now, we had this system on the Gazelles, so we're familiar with this kit. So we've got a mounting bracket, and that bit comes down to allow the actual kit to go in. Except for I've just messed that up, right? So that's that. And then there's some captors that go up on the roof of the car. Do you remember we put that piece of metal on the roof of the car because these are magnetic? So there's that. We've also got the trippy to support to fit as well. All right, just looking at where these supports go in the car. Now, this Irritrack thing, we've both got to be able to reach from our seat with the harnesses on. So I'm sitting back in the seat. I should be able to get to all of those buttons. But if I hold that now, does that...
I can still see the screen.
You can still see the screen of the...
Yeah.
Because this is the digital compass. And then the trippy goes on a ram mount. So at the minute I've put that box up on the top there, but that could go further down. I'm not sure. I don't think we really need to put another mounting on. We might as well use the one we've got.
It'll be up there then.
Yeah, we can turn that to where...
You might see the mirror.
Wow.
That was the problem you had on Santana.
Yeah, that's true. That needs
Yeah,
thinking
it's gonna have
about.
to go there.
What we decided to do is to re-sight the compass above the TerraTrip repeater, because it's really me more than Marcella that needs to keep an eye on that to make sure that we're going in the right direction. So she can tell me the heading, I can look out for it. And that means that the Irritrack can be slightly more central, which means that it's easier for me to reach if I need to. And obviously still okay for Stella to reach, and she should still be able to see the heading if she needs to check. So that all seems to be coming together as a bit of a plan. Now let's have a look on the roof. So up on the roof we now have the two captors for the GPS in the Iridium for the Irritrack in place. Those wires coming up through the hole with the capture for the TerraTrip. So that's all in place to keep you connected to us while we're out on the stage.
Yes.
So go. This is the Iritrack support. Ah, I see what the cutout's for now for the triangle. And how's that going to fix onto there?
I'm going to drill holes and put threads into here.
Okay.
And bolt it on, and then it'll have a bracket going onto there as well.
Cool. Yeah, that seems to work.
You've got
doesn't
plenty
it?
of room that end, more than the regulation distance.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So does that feel solid? Yeah, and you can see these screens here from your seat. Well, Marcella's seat. You've got to pretend you're Marcella. Get your red lipstick on.
Only on Sundays.
The lovely support that Chris has just made for the Iritrack. It's Saturday morning and Felix is on site just checking out the installation of the rear suspension.
So that's all in there. Beautiful rose jointed.
Does it drive better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially at speed.
Yeah.
But what will he make of the bits we have to fit today?
Wow.
That is the reaction, isn't it? Aren't they amazing?
They are much nicer. Wow. Feel the weight in that. That's very nice. They look well good for Purdey.
They're so cool. And look at this. How beautiful is that?
Yeah. It's very nice.
But these are just awesome, aren't they?
They're the real deal.
They are the real deal. Huge thanks to our new partners, Maker, for these fantastic radius arms. It does mean that this is the third set we've put on Purdey, but it's worth waiting for. We have more bushes to press into the new arms.
It's not heavier than the other one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just don't get your fingers in the way.
Right, go.
Look at that, it just slides in a treat. Bit of lube makes everything good.
One.
Oh, that's pretty cool because you'll see the Maker logo, won't you?
It's going to be hidden right behind the mudguard. I love that.
Well,
Depends
on the angle,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But one side must be done. You coming to inspect, Mr. Ben? So, do you want to tell us what you're doing?
So we're currently painting the bolts and the nuts so we can see if they move while we're on the rally.
That's a good idea. It's an easy visual check then, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So what we're trying to do now is to work out how long the limiting straps on the axle are going to need to be. So the limiting straps basically stop the springs unseating, is that right?
So basically we don't want the seat or the spring to unseat from up here too much, otherwise it will pop out. So what we're going to do is try and mount a limiting strap between the steering box bolt and the radius arm bolt at the front, and so we're about to measure the distance between to order the straps.
Okay, and we've got what at the moment we've got an articulation that is just when the spring is starting to unseat. Is that right?
It's just starting to come off now.
Okay, so we're going to do that front and back, and that also should help to reduce unnecessary wear on the components of the car. Should we have big articulation, I guess?
Yep, that's the theory.
Very good.
About 45 centimetres.
Okay, and then we've got to take a bit off.
Take a couple of centimetres off.
I think it could go down another centimetre without actually.
Yeah, it's just starting to move there, isn't it?
That's about 46.
Yeah.
So if we aim for like 44 then.
Yeah, that's it. So.
Okay. So do we think that's enough then?
Well, yeah.
We've had it further than that, but not with these sugars orders, so we don't know, do we?
No. So we decided to do a real world test with some articulation and see how it compares.
No, that's
Satisfied with our measurement, we decided to take Purdey for a little road test and let Felix have a drive. I found that the faster you go, the better it deals with the bumps.
how fast?
Well, just, you know, a little bit faster than you think is comfortable. There's things crashing around in the back, that doesn't help obviously, but literally could not script this. On our little bumpy test track, we're in a traffic jam behind a duster. Anyway, I'll use this opportunity to ask Felix what he thinks about driving Purdey. How does she feel to you?
Well, she feels very good. Yeah, very powerful. Too powerful for me.
No.
It's awesome. The suspension seems to be working quite well.
And when we came down this track faster, it didn't feel too bad, did it?
It didn't feel like we were ruining it, and it is very bumpy.
It is very bumpy. So, I think she might be up to doing Dakar.
Yeah. It's a good way to test it, and now it's just turned off.
Yeah. Bye bye, little duster. He's gone off down a little track, side track. Okay. Not so easy to hold a camera still, right? But I think it's worse actually sitting in the passenger seat because you've not got the steering wheel to hold on to. Track goes round to the left in a minute. We've just got back from our drive, which obviously included the bumpy track that we did at a reasonable speed. And this box of black self-tapping screws, which we sort of forgot were in the back, are still there. Not only have they not moved, the screws haven't jumped out of the box. So I think that is testament to how good the suspension is, that we've literally driven round and they're still there.